Hi, this is Glenda, and today I wanted to show you how I made this hot cocoa soap. Today I'm starting with a little bit of a behind the scenes process, which is the design part for me. I like drawing, so I have fun doing this. I didn't mean for this to be a Christmassy soap, but it was actually inspired by the fragrance, which is dark rich chocolate and chocolate chip cookie. So I also use peppermint and titanium dioxide as my colorant. I am dispersing the titanium dioxide prior in sunflower oil. I first used a mini blender, but I saw that some lumps were not breaking down, so I also used icing spatula. In a similar way how lipsticks with pigments are dispersed, in which you break it down and then you scrape with the bottom of the silicone spatula to make sure there are no streaks. So now I have the oils here, which are at 93 Fahrenheit and 33 Celsius. The lye water should be at room temperature since I made it yesterday. It's 25 Celsius, 77 Fahrenheit. First thing I'm just gonna do is just add the lye water to the oils. So first I'm going to stir it with the motor off. Just blend it in before I even attempt to start blending with the motor powered on. The body of the soap is pretty much going to be brown because of the fragrance discoloration. I will attempt to do like a mug bottom, like a rounded bottom portion, and that's also going to be white, but we'll see how that goes. I don't see any oils floating around, so I think I've reached emulsion. So I'm just going to divide this into different portions. First I'm going to set apart 10 ounces for the white portion. Then here I'm going to do 18 ounces. I'm actually only going to do 17. So to the smaller portion, the 10 ounces, I'm adding the peppermint fragrance oil. I know that this fragrance behaves well, so I'm adding it even before I add the titanium dioxide to it. So when I blend it, I'm just going to blend both the colorant and the fragrance together. It is okay if it gets thick because I actually want it to get thick to be able to scrape the design at the bottom, and then when it goes on top of the soap, it also needs to be thick. Alright, it has reached a very light trace, so I'm just going to set it apart. Actually, I'm going to put some of it already in the mold and to give it time to continue to harden so that I can scrape part of it later. And hopefully that's enough for later on. I'm not sure. We'll see. Going to add more here. And actually I don't think that's going to be enough, so I'm going to borrow a little bit from this and I'm going to add more white. Alright, so I've added about an ounce of from this portion to here so that I have enough white for the top, and this seems to be a little bit hard but not enough, so I don't think it's ready to be scraped. What I'm going to use to scrape it is just the cover of a mason jar, just to create a round shape, and I'm pretty much just going to go at the bottom like this, and that actually is holding up the shape a little bit, but I think I would prefer it if it held it a little bit more. Now it feels like it's not quite there yet. What I'll do here is that I'm going to add a little bit more of titanium dioxide. Alright, It is not quite as thick as I wanted it to be yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and move on with the rest of the soap because I don't want these other portions to get too thick to be poured into the mold. So what I'll do is that I'm just going to do one pass, not too deep though, and then I'm just going to remove whatever I'm scraping off. The idea is just for this to look like the bottom of a cup, similar to what I did with the coffee soap, which is a video for which I lost footage, so I never published it, but I do have some pictures of it. I'll put one of them on the screen so you have an idea of what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm just trying to clean up the edges a little bit. I'm going to add the fragrance to the rest of the soap and blend it in. But to this portion, the main body of the soap, I'm not adding any colorant. I'm just gonna let the discoloration of the soap, of the fragrance, to take care of it. The chocolate chip cookie is supposed to go to like a light brown. It smells very good. I like it. And then the dark rich chocolate is going to go quite darker because it has a lot more vanillin. It has 15%, so that should be quite dark. I'm going to add the light brown first. And I just want the lighter color at the bottom. That way, when the vanilla discoloration bleeds into the white, it's not too bad. And now I can start adding the dark chocolate portion, which right now is looking already yellow. And I think I'm just going to alternate them now. Now, for the longest time, I didn't know that, and this is gonna sound silly to you, perhaps, but I didn't know that you could make hot cocoa from scratch. Now, in El Salvador, we have hot chocolate, and that one is always made from scratch. But the American version of it, to me, I always knew it as it coming in a packet, in a small envelope, with sometimes even with dehydrated marshmallows in it. And so I never thought that, it just never occurred to me until recently when I saw a recipe for it, that if you have made hot cocoa from scratch, let me know, or if you know a good recipe, let me know too. And I'm going to do a very quick random swirl with this contraption I've made. This is not the type of design for which I made it, and I'm trying to avoid going all the way to the bottom because I don't want to disrupt the white portion that I've put. And I'm just gonna tap it lightly. All right, and now the white is quite thick, which is good. So I'm just going to add it on top. Actually, I think I want to spoon it in so that it looks like dollops. And I don't want it necessarily for this to be a layer that fills the whole mold. Rather, I prefer if I can see some distinction between the bars. Now it is time to add the embeds. So I'm just going to put about a couple of like marshmallows on each bar so that this look like marshmallows that have not finished melting yet. Okay, so I cut these 2 bars earlier this morning, and now I can see more discoloration, and I'm sure it's gonna continue to get darker as it cures, but so all the light yellow is gonna be beige and all the bright yellow is gonna be dark brown. But anyway, I'll take pictures of how they discolor, how dark they get, so you can see them next. Thank you for watching. Bye.